All right. Well, welcome everyone to our fourth live stream in our 2026 International Conference Facebook live streams. We're glad everyone who's joining us. Little housekeeping, please feel free to use the chat or the comments feature. We'll try and get to them at the end of our discussion. And if you're watching this later on YouTube, please still feel free to add comments or questions. We will try and answer all of your questions in the chat. I am so delighted today to be joined by RAC member, registered Canadian reflexology therapist, and registered acupuncturist in the beautiful province of British Columbia, Jen Hlannon. Thank you for joining with me, Jen. And Jen is going to be one of our conference speakers at our upcoming conference in Winnipeg, Manitoba, from May 22nd to 26th. We'll talk more about, conference, but you can go to reflexologyconference.com for all the information. But we want all the people watching, listening to this to get to know you, Jen. So we'll start from the beginning. You are an RCRT. How did you get into reflexology?
How did I get into reflexology? Hello, everyone. Thanks for watching. I have a good story. I went to the Kingfisher Spa, which is in Courtenay on Vancouver Island, really nice spa, for some anniversary of some sort. They did not have massage, which I wanted. In fact, they were so full, all they had was foot reflexology. I do remember asking what it was. They couldn't really explain it. Signed up for it. Had my treatment by this beautiful girl from France or Belgium or something. And it was the most relaxed I'd ever felt.
Wow.
So I came out of it. And near that time, this girl in the town I lived in had learned Indian head massage. And I was really jealous. I didn't know you could learn something in a short time and then do it. And I just wanted something to trade with people, like a skill to trade. So I came out of that room after my reflexology appointment, asked my husband, can I please learn that? And I looked it up right away, looked up a course and found Michelle Mork in Victoria.
Wow.
And that was in April, and by October, I was in Michelle's course. I did not know anything about the parts of the body associated with feet. All I knew was super relaxing. So then I do the course with Michelle, learn about these parts, body parts. I'm like, well, I'm not going to believe that until I can see it's true. It was evident pretty soon, working on the lower intestines and then feeling your stomach gurgle, these noises coming from your abdomen. And then she said, we had to do the practicum, 60 case studies. I said, fine, I'll do it, but I don't know if I'll like it. And then end up doing it and love it. It's actually very beneficial for me to do, because you can't be multitasking while you're working on someone's feet. You have to be completely present, and you're with that person in such a meaningful way. So that's how I started with reflexology.
I've heard so many people say similar stories, right? They tried it, loved it so much, wanted to learn it, or it was really helpful for a family member or themselves, due to illness or other things, and they got into it. So I love that. I guess leading up to that first treatment, I guess in your life, were you really stressed? Were things going on, and it was the switch when you finally received reflexology for the first time?
Well, yeah, what I say to my clients now is I don't know how anyone survives without reflexology. Mm-hmm. You just haven't had that treatment. You haven't had that full relaxation, parasympathetic nervous system state reboot. So it's unlike anything else. So yeah, my life would be my life. I don't know, whatever was happening. Everyone has stress.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's nothing specific going on. I just had normal life stress and felt deeply, deeply relaxed after.
Wow. So tell me, so you got your training, you became a reflexology therapist, but now you've gone beyond. You've now become a registered acupuncturist, which is a pretty intensive course.
Yeah.
So what led you to take the next step and then also study acupuncture?
COVID. I opened up my reflexology business in January 2020. I was
Uh,
working with seniors in James Bay. And then March, we closed down.
mhm.
So I was planning, I just thought I'd like to do something to learn more about the body, just to supplement reflexology, to enhance my reflexology treatments, right? So then I was going to be join massage school. It had a very rigid program, didn't really work with my work, and I was a single parent at the time, so I needed to work, right? So at the same time, I have a new client. Someone referred someone to me, and they were a massage therapist plus an acupuncturist. I saw that on their form before they came. And so I asked her, what do you think about this massage program, which seems very rigid? And she thought about it and said, I think you should do acupuncture while she was having her feet done. And I was like, okay. But then I looked it up after, and it was that school in Victoria has, you can do the courses on your own schedule. You can take 3 years, you can take 5 years. So it was way better fit. Got to the school, and then as time went on, learning all the points on the feet and all the points on the legs was absolutely amazing.
So, have you found learning acupuncture beneficial to your reflexology?
Definitely,
Okay.
definitely. It's very, very beneficial. Yes. And what I'm going to be talking to people about at the workshop or the conference is how to stimulate the lower leg meridian. So go from the calf, from the ankle up to beneath the knees and stimulate the 6 meridians of the lower legs through the ankle to below the knee.
Awesome. So that's
I have stories for you later about how beneficial it is.
no. Let's talk about this. So you are coming to the conference. The title of your conference workshop is Golden Lines: Activating Lower Leg Pathways. So you've given us a little bit of a glimpse of what you'll be teaching people, but maybe can you sort of frame the pathways of the lower leg for like why is this important, or what is it first, and then like why is this important?
Okay, yes. So we have 12 main meridians in the body, and they go into all parts of the body. 6 are from start or end in the hands, 6 start or end in the feet. So us as reflexologists, reflexology therapists can access the 6 that start or end in the toes and go up the legs. Um, what was your question?
Okay, so that's the what, and so then why is this important? Why is stimulating these pathways in the leg important to reflexology therapists, or is could be like why would a reflexology therapist want to know the 6 pathways, meridian pathways of the leg? That's the question.
Okay. Um, okay, so a few reasons. One is it feels really good for the client to have these. So these meridians, and if I use the word channel, it's the same thing as meridian. These meridians in the body flow through the whole body like a river, moving chi throughout the body. They get blocked. They get blocked with emotions, with physical activity. It's normal for them to get blocked. Once they're blocked, that causes illness or imbalance in that meridian pathway somewhere. So you asked why is it important to stimulate these? Because we can make sure the meridians are clear from the ankle to the knee, and that will clear the entire pathway throughout the whole body. So say, for example, you're working with someone with hip pain, there's a pathway that goes to the hip. So we can work the hip reflex for sure, and sacrum and the low back, and you can just add the gallbladder meridian up the lateral side of the calf. And why it's important, I find, is that you are stimulating that area that's a problem twice. You're doing it on the foot, and you're doing it on the meridian pathway. Now these points, ankle to knee, are called distal acupuncture points. They're also distal acupuncture points from the elbow to the wrist. These are some of the most important, elbow to the fingertips, knee to the toes are some of the most important acupuncture points, called distal points, like I said. These points are where the meridian comes out or begins and is more shallow in that area. So it's easy for needles to go in and get that point, or even our thumbs can push those points or go along those points. So it's easy to access the meridian in those areas.
Okay.
So that's why it's important to work those areas, because the distal acupuncture points have a benefit over the entire body. Mm-hmm. So, for example, you can work the gallbladder meridian and help someone with a side headache or an ear problem or top of the shoulder problem.
So the idea in your seminar is going to be showing all the attendees points that they can use in addition to the reflexology or alongside their.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
No, you don't we do the foot treatment. You do the full foot, and then you just add in the calf work. And I've calculated it adds in about 4 to 6 minutes to your treatment. I do want to say this is different than leg massage. Mm-hmm. This is working specific pathways along the calf, behind the calf, and that's going to affect the whole body. Leg massage is very relaxing, but it's not quite the same as unblocking blockages, if there are any, in a channel and affecting the entire body.
Okay. So you mentioned you had some cool stories. Do you have any client stories where you've integrated, you've done the reflexology session, you've added these additional points, acupuncture points on the leg? How did the client respond? Or what's your story?
Oh, yeah. So first of all, there's 2 ways of activating. First of all, I do it every single treatment.
Okay.
And there's two things that are happening. You can get specific points along the channel, plus you're doing the entire channel.
Okay.
So I just want to say that. Okay, so I have examples. So yesterday, I had someone come in. She hadn't come in for about a year. And she came in the door. She was not smiling. She's a nice person. I just noticed that she was not smiling, seemed preoccupied. Did a little intake. She didn't seem to have much wrong with her, right? She just was on her lunch break, wanted a treatment. So I noticed she was quite pale, okay. Not much color in the face, and not smiling. So had her on the table and did ask her about that. I said, it just seems there's something going on. And then I just shared something about my life, my stress or whatever. And then she completely opened up, right? So she opened up, she's got a presentation today. I said, I have a presentation today too. And her job is stressful and she's got kids. Oh, and she's moving. Okay. So she opened up, she has all this stuff. Anyway, I did her foot. And then as I'm going up the gallbladder meridian, it was stuck a bit. So I just had to use various techniques just to try and, if the meridians are like a river, you want them free flowing. I said that already, right? So if it's blocked, I'm just trying to open it up with just some low pressure. Go back and forth, right? Open it up. I happened to look at her and she had color in her face. It was pink. And I stood up. I said, you have color in your face. She's like, what? So, oh yeah, a couple other things about her. She did have a cold. She did have some sinus issues still. And she also can't go running because her ears are super sensitive. She'll get an earache or something. Oh. So I could see, she has some stuff going on in the head as well. Anyway, working that gallbladder meridian, finding a little blockage, just clearing it. Totally got color in her face.
Wow.
By the time she left, she's smiling. She said, I'm so relieved or something, right? So she's ready for her presentation the next day.
Wow.
That's one example. I have other examples too.
Always love client examples when the response is so immediate after the session where,
Oh yeah.
When they can walk out and be like, oh my gosh, I'm better mood right away, feeling pep in my step right away. I think that's such a critical part of the benefit of reflexology is those stories of some clients, they felt things immediately.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think, yes, most of us have those stories. Yes. That's why we do our work.
All right. You said you had a couple other examples if you'd like to share.
Oh, sure. Um, okay, I just want to talk about hip pain. Oh, I was gonna, can I share a picture?
Sure. 2 seconds. I hadn't. People are gonna see way too many things on the screen, but try and sharing. If it doesn't work,
Yeah,
no.
that's fine. No problem. I was just gonna share the meridian pathway for one of the meridians. Okay, so I want to show you how we will be working the reflex on the foot and then just adding a whole another reflex,
Okay.
basically.
Yeah.
Okay, so person with hip pain, 69-year-old, and hip replacement actually, eventually had a hip replacement. I've known him for a long time. He comes every 2 weeks
Mm-hmm.
and he is very active in his life. I just noticed that I cannot turn his right leg when he first comes,
Okay.
usually every 2 weeks or every 4 weeks. I cannot turn that leg properly. So I work the hip reflex and then his gallbladder meridian, which I was going to show you. Um, but I can show you on this doll here.
Do you have a doll? Okay.
Yeah, I do. See? Here
Love
you
it.
go. So it comes along the foot, comes up the side of the leg, comes up the side of the knee, goes into the hip, does a zigzag to the front and up the side of the body, up to the top of the shoulder, and then the head. Oh, yeah. So for that woman with the head, with the not smiling, the sinus issues, and the very sensitive ears,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know this would happen, right? But she had a blockage around here. We just cleared it.
All connected.
That explains why it helped her when she got face colors, because there's a many gallbladder points on the head. That must be why. It cleared something down here and cleared her up here. Okay, so for a fellow with the hip pain, also every time, all I have to do is go up the gallbladder
Find the point.
meridian here, which is always taut. It's kind of dry. Once I do that a few times, then his leg turns. So that's an example of how beneficial this is.
And so because these 6 pathways in the leg are all connected, and you just showed on your little doll creature, it's all connected. There's additional points in the head, but it's all the same pathway.
That is one of the pathways. That is
Yeah.
just one of the pathways.
Okay.
So there's 12 main pathways. There's 6 as I said, in the lower legs. Now those 6 in the lower legs also talk to the ones in the hands and upper body.
Right.
So by doing the lower legs, you are getting the entire body because there's paired relationships between meridians, like the stomach meridian on the lower leg talks to the arm large intestine meridian.
Ah, okay.
You're getting the whole body.
No, we love talking whole bodies. I was thinking this in terms of like, reflex like referral areas, working working the kidneys for the eyes or vice versa. And whether in terms of these lower leg meridian points, it operated in the sort of the same way. I guess that was my question, if I'm understanding.
Yeah, it makes sense of the referral pathways.
Okay.
So for example, hip and shoulder are referral areas, right?
Right.
Yes. And okay, actually I'm going to use liver. The liver meridian can help with eye problems.
Okay.
Yeah, that's not exactly the same referral areas you have.
No, that's fine. It doesn't have to be the same. But it's the idea of it working similar. I think from a concept. Sorry, I was trying to get it from more of a conceptual point of view. If I'm understanding, right? So it's working some of these points along. So we'll take the gallbladder meridian that you were showing us, and it referring to other points in the head from what I could see on the pathway you were outlining on your doll there. Okay.
It's influencing other parts in the pathway, yes.
Okay. So.
Which is so amazing, right?
Yes. So I think we're getting the picture that your seminar is going to be very practical. people who attended are going to come out with key points that I'm assuming we can use right away to integrate into. Amazing.
Yes.
You're also going to be hosting a more in-depth post-conference workshop online for people who aren't necessarily able to come to Winnipeg in June. Could you give us a little glimpse of what the workshop in terms of going deeper is going to look like?
Yes. At the conference, we'll be doing an overview of everything and then having a practical part where people get to touch each other's, go through the meridians. We're just going to go through 2 of them. In the workshop, we're going to go through all 6. We're going to talk about points on the feet as well, and go through the legs. It's kind of simple in a way. My aim is to explain it simply, but there's a lot to go through. So that cannot happen in the 90-minute workshop. We'll have to do that in the 7.5-hour workshop. Yes, and then we'll have a practical component at the end where you have a partner to work on, and then I can watch and see how you're doing.
No, it's a lot of information what you've been explaining. So it makes sense that we can't get everything in 90 minutes. We're going to need a little bit more time to go deeper and to understand these pathways, I think, more clearly.
Yes.
Now, from a client point of view, so because you're now registered acupuncturist and a reflexology therapist, I'm always thinking about scope of practice. How do you communicate that with the client in terms of what you're doing, or like when to come see you for acupuncture versus coming to see you for reflexology?
That is a good question. Well, people with benefits like to use their acupuncture.
Sure.
So actually what happens mostly is people are booking hour and 25-minute appointments. So they're having acupuncture, some cupping, but they're also having the foot treatment.
Okay.
And we're working those calves.
So
Meridians.
All right, maybe I'll reframe it. Let's think, if we think about integrative healthcare, that's one of the themes of our conference, is the idea that healthcare is integrative. Reflexology works alongside things like acupuncture and massage. Because you're an acupuncturist, when might it be, and again, completely understand, disclaimer, this is going to be client dependent, this is going to be situation dependent, but when might be a good time for a therapist to refer outward to an acupuncturist? In your experience or from your knowledge?
The time when you need to refer out is if your treatments are not working, if there's not a benefit to the client.
Sure.
So, okay, I do have an example for you.
Okay.
I was in Tanzania this summer helping teach reflexology to people, and I got paired up with one woman, 38. She wants to get pregnant. Took her so long to get pregnant with the first child, 5 years, right? So I'm just paired up with her. Her partner left, so we're working the feet. I find out she wants to get pregnant. I feel up the spleen meridian, which is on the medial calf, and it was rock. There's an example. I said, you're not going to get pregnant with such a blockage in your spleen channel. Spleen channel nourishes the uterus, helps conception. So I tried to clear it, got paired it up with her the next day, tried to clear it. It was still hard. Mm-hmm. So then I said to her, you should see an acupuncturist as well. And then she looked it up. She could not find one. I guess in Tanzania, they don't really have acupuncturists. So she said, well, do you have needles? And I said, yes, but we're leaving today after this. And then I said, oh, but I think we're staying in your father's hotel tonight in Mwanza, this other city. So we arranged to meet at 7 a.m. She came to my hotel room at 7 a.m. And I worked her spleen meridian, cleared it. So it was actually like a river, right? Mm-hmm. Tried to at least get some change in there. I also did some acupuncture protocol for any gynecological issue. And she got pregnant 2 weeks later.
Wow.
She also worked her own feet because she learned. She said, I asked her, she did her feet once a week. So there's an example. That's an extreme case. Like her sisters cannot get pregnant. They never got pregnant. She managed to get pregnant once, and now she's pregnant again.
No, but I think that's a great example because always trying to explain like we don't operate in a vacuum. So you mentioned if clients are not seeing the benefit from a reflexology session, maybe they do need to try another therapeutic modality, or there's ways to work with other healthcare professionals like acupuncturists to help the client, right? So
Of course.
while she got the needles, got the acupuncture protocol, she was also doing her feet, right? Like that example, which I hope encourages other people to again, work alongside other healthcare practitioners because again, I don't think we operate in a vacuum.
No, no, not at all.
So, checking if there's any questions, please feel free to ask. But just general, want to say like, is there anything? What's the most exciting thing or what are you most excited about sharing with everyone at our upcoming conference?
Oh, I'm so excited about sharing this. Other reflexology therapists have asked me to share this. So that's why I put my proposal in. So super excited to show people how to do this and super excited to see everybody and learn from the other people.
Excellent. Well, is there anything else you'd like to share with us or inspire us with or more cool client stories?
Oh, sure. Oh yeah, I have another story. So someone came in again after not coming in for a year with knee pain in both knees.
Mm-hmm.
And she had had knee surgery, and I gave her treatments before her knee surgery, got knee surgery, she came after. Then she didn't come for a year. So she comes, she is in pain in both knees. The right knee, the pain was on the lateral side. The left knee, the doctors told her she has medial bursitis in her knee.
Oh, okay.
Right? She's hobbling in. She's going on 6 weeks holiday 2 weeks later. So she booked two appointments, right? So of course, work the knee reflex, work the whole foot, work the knee reflex really firmly. Also find the gallbladder channel on the right knee, very firm. So worked on relieving that. And then the spleen and liver channels on the medial knee were also blocked, so cleared those. It was quite a lot of work actually. And I was a little annoyed that she hadn't been in so long. Because she's going on holiday, right? It's pressure, whatever. Comes in the next week, she's fine. The bursitis is gone.
Wow.
I know she can walk. That was really very quick turnaround. And then she also had constipation and hemorrhoids.
Mm-hmm.
So give her another foot treatment. Make sure the knees are going to be good for her holiday, right? And worked the stomach channel. I remember on the right foot working the stomach channel, going up the stomach channel, and I can show you where that is.
Sure.
So it's this really light green one. So I just went up here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Got to this point here, which happens to be command point of the stomach. So it works on all stomach issues. Came up here, and then it's going to work on constipation as well. And her stomach did a massive gurgle.
Okay.
So it was really funny. So, and then there is a special point for hemorrhoids on our rectum sciatic reflex, just up here. So made sure I pressed that as well.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, she walked out pretty excited about her holiday.
No.
I don't know if her constipation and hemorrhoids got better because she's gone for 6 weeks.
No, but that's again going back to the integration of these points on the lower leg and with the reflexology and being able to clear things. I think that's an amazing illustration of why therapists might be interested in learning this at the conference and integrating it into their sessions.
Yes.
Now, is this something you mentioned this? What you're going to be sharing and teaching, it's typically about 4 to 6 minutes. You've clocked it at about 4 to 6 minutes. Is it something you do at the end of a typical session, in the middle? How does that usually?
I think people can do it whenever they want. You
Okay.
could certainly do it at the end. I do it after I've done the medial, medial hip reflex.
Mm-hmm.
And I go up the channel, the 3 channels, kidney, spleen, meridian, kidney, spleen, liver, meridians.
Yeah.
Then when I get to the lateral malleolus, I go up the gallbladder meridian. And then when I'm doing the whiplash reflexology point, then I go up the stomach meridian.
Okay.
And the bladder meridian is when I do the rectum sciatica point. You could also do it at the very end. So it's up to you.
Okay. So there's flexibility.
Yes.
We're teaching concept. We're not teaching necessarily this is exactly how you have to do it.
True.
Excellent. All right. Well, I hope all of you listening, watching this are inspired to learn more and see how integrating these lower leg meridian points can be very effective with your clients. Jen is going to be in Winnipeg from May 22nd to May 24th at our conference. If you want to hear her speak, you want to learn these points, please go and register reflexologyconference.com. She's also teaching, I believe, 6-hour post-conference workshop June 7th.
Yes, and it's 7.5 hours.
7.5 hours, my apologies.
Yes.
7.5 hours on June 7th. You can also go and register for that at reflexologyconference.com. So we hope we see lots of you there asking your questions about meridians, asking your questions about integration, and hopefully we can all learn from each other and keep helping clients. So until next time, thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Laura, and thank you, everyone, for watching. Thanks, Laura, for doing this.
No worries. Take care.